Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Grim Fable from Fortnite. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencil first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. So I'm going for a jumping wolf pose, right? I mean, a pouncing pose, I guess is that what I'm trying to say. Because, you know, like a wolf, I guess. That's kind of what I'm thinking of. So, and plus it's something different. That's the other thing, is I'm trying to think of different stuff to do, so I'm not just doing the same pose over and over again. I mean, it's fun, but, you know, I'm just trying to give you some variety. Alright, so I've got to come up with a couple of different circles and cones and what else? What other shapes do I use? Yeah, but basically that's what I'm trying to do, is come up with some different shapes to fit what I'm doing here. And this is why you got to learn your anatomy, why you got to learn, you know, what shapes go where and what would bend and move and fly and get in this kind of what changes as the body moves like this. That's what I'm trying to say. Because we're not doing the normal stuff, so you know it helps to understand where we're going with this and why stuff moves. Okay, so there you go. I think I've got the basics, so I can start to do some details here. And this is what I always try to tell you guys, is try to get your positioning down first and then do the basics, or then add the details, because the last thing you want to do is run out of room. And you know, it's no big deal, you can always do whatever, but I know you guys are trying to draw here and I'm trying to make it work for you, so I don't want to run out of room, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let me try to work on that wolf head. So sorry if I go quiet here. There are a lot of details that I got to get in real fast too, because I don't want to spend too much time on the sketch when I know a lot of people want to get to the Sharpie part. But there's a lot of details, so I gotta try to figure this out real fast. And get ready for the Sharpies. And I think that's gonna work. Let's see. And I'm kind of doing my old zigzaggedy technique for the braids, so you can look that up if you want. I got a whole tutorial about how to do braids. Well, you know, just the way I do them. Okay, and also, yeah, she's got her armor that I've got to make sure I get right, and it's being raised up. So that's something else you need to understand about anatomy too, is that when you raise your arms, your shoulders raise up, and so that means everything that's on her shoulders, which is armor, is going to go up higher, and it's going to be closer to your ears. So you just got to think about little things like that whenever you are drawing like this, you know, whenever you change it up. Okay, so let me try to get some detail into this hand real quick. That's kind of the downside to drawing crazy stuff like this when I'm on a time limit. I mean, I'm not really on a time limit, but I'm trying to make this video at least 30 minutes. You know, I don't want to go too crazy because, you know, I appreciate you guys are here, but I know not everybody wants to watch a 30-minute video of me sketching mostly. You know, we want to get to the good stuff. But I'm trying to make it enjoyable. Oh, and also, I mean, there's obviously a certain look to her, so that's why I'm trying to get that real fast. And I think I'm there. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. So the boots got that. Okay. Same thing. There's a lot of detail in the boot, all these buckles. So if we do the side, we're going to do how many she got? 4, like that. And come down. So I guess this sketch didn't take too long. She got high heels. Why high heels, guys? Those aren't good for battle. But hey, you know what? You're the designers. You guys made Fortnite. You know a little bit more than I do, don't you? Okay, so let's see. So kind of a shoe almost kind of pointed at you. Something like that. There you go. That was kind of tilted up a little bit at you like that so you can see the bottom of the foot. But I think that's good. I think I'm about ready to start with the detail. Yeah, let's do it. Let's jump. Let's move over. So I'm going to erase some of these sketches because all I really need are the confidence lines, not the sketch lines. And as I got more confident, my lines got darker, or I pushed harder, pressed harder, and those are going to be harder to erase, so those will stay better than the sketch lines that I'm erasing. And if you're working with pencil, you just keep going. You don't have to worry about erasing. I just want my Sharpie to stand out, so I'm kind of taking away some of the pencil lines, but giving me enough to keep sketching and know where I'm going. All right. Oh, my picture disappeared. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's see. So, yeah, let's welcome everybody that skipped. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point and can find the things that fine point can't quite find. Sketch the entire thing out. I've erased a majority of it, but left myself a ghost of an image that I could use to draw on. And I'm going to start with the Sharpie fine point. I'm sorry, the Sharpie pen, because it's a little finer that I can control the line widths much better. Now, I've got her kind of in a jumping pose and the face is straight at you, so I'm going to have to draw the wolf head first and then her eyes because it's a little bit over the eye, so I just gotta control that a little bit. So let's start with the nose. I'm gonna, hang on a second, I keep bumping the camera. Move this cable over here. Okay, I'm gonna start with the nose, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw like this. Okay, so that's going to put placement for everything. I'm going to base all of it on this because that's going to guide me with everything else. And so I'm not coloring that in yet. I'm just kind of let color take care of that, but I'm just going to use this to give me an idea of where I am. So for the teeth, I'm going to do just kind of a couple of big fangs, and this is why I wanted to do it first because I wanted those to stand out. do some little ones under here like that. And then I can draw the eyes under here and not worried about what's going where or what's visible, you know? Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up the head here. Let's see, I just want to kind of guide myself with the brow. And I can do the eyes, the little angry eyes, something like that. And now I'm going to do, it's kind of like, they're kind of like ears and brows all together, right? We'll kind of separate them out like this. Okay, and also, as I get to the outer edge here, I'm going to thicken this up a little bit, because when I switch over to this Sharpie, it's going to be super thick, and I already know that, so that's why I'm kind of preparing for how it's going to look. Just building that awareness, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But again, it's because I've done it before, so that's why I know exactly what it's going to look like. Or how thick it's going to be, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let's see, so I'm going to do a little bit of an edge out like that. A little bit of an edge out like that. Okay, how's yours looking? Awesome. Okay, so there's pretty much the head. The rest is going to be going down like the edge of the what do you call it? The hat, I guess. The hood. So now I can draw her eyes. So I'm going to draw the top of her lids like this, and I've got her kind of tilted down a little bit, so that's why the head's like this. So I was worried about the teeth going into the eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the pupils, or I'm sorry, the retina, the color part, like this. And then I'll drop in just a little bit of pupil if I can. It's super tiny, so I'm just going to barely hit it like that. And then just kind of come in just for a little bit of the eye, because it's so tiny I can't draw the underside, it's going to bleed. It's already starting to hit that too much, so I want to walk away. I'm going to draw this brow over here like this, and that's all I really want to do, because her hair is kind of covering over a lot of it too. So I'm going to draw her, let's see, a little bit of hair and bangs over this way. That also will guide me that I can draw a little bit of brow like that, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do. So for the bridge of her nose, I'm just going to do a little bit of one of these, and that's it, because again, there's only so many lines I'm going to be able to do, and I don't want to make it all bleed. So for her nose, I'm going to give her just a little bit of a, like that. That's all I can really do, because again, this is so tiny I don't want to go too far. So for her mouth, we're going to draw a little bit of the lips like this. Bottom lip a little bit more. And so this will also help me guide as to what I can add and what's in front and what's in behind. So let's see. Okay, real quick though, let me do this. I know this is going to be kind of crazy, but we're going to draw her collar like that. And that'll guide me to what I can draw. So I'm going to draw her chin. And see, I wanted it tucked in just a little bit behind that collar. That's why I did that first. So now I'm going to come over here and draw her jawline here. This one is going to come up a little bit too. And then I can go ahead and draw the rest of her face going up this way. Here's the hairline. Something like that. Okay? So same thing, this one's going to disappear in that hairline. And there we go. So now that we've got that defined, I can add a few more little pieces. Like there's going to be hair. Some hair there. Like that. And I can start to reconnect all these lines. So her braided hair is going to be in front of all this stuff. So let me do that first. And I'm going to do some zigzaggity is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to just do this. And I've already sketched it out, so I know where it's going. So that's why I can just do something like this and know that it's following where I was going to go. So I'll go ahead and do like that. And if you want to see what I did, this whole zigzaggedy technique, you can look in my tutorials. I did a whole explanation as to what I'm calling a zigzaggedy style. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to come over here with this. I'm going to say I'm going to do like this. Okay, then just kind of reconnect everything. Let's see. Ooh, this is getting tiny, so it's kind of harder to do. Okay, so something like that. Get a little messy there, but that's okay. That's all right. But basically, we want to draw what's in front first, and then you can draw what's behind. So now that I drew what's all in front, I forgot to give her a little bit of an ear there. I can draw the. I forgot to do the ears on both sides. We'll just say that the hair kind of went over there. So okay, I can do the collar and whatnot. But I'm going to switch over to the big Sharpie for that because now we're starting to get to the meat and the bones of it. So I'm going to go ahead and draw like the edge of the collar, like that, or the hood. I guess I keep calling it the collar, but I guess it's the hood, really. Okay, so that's like the edge of her hood. Yeah. Oh, why do I keep losing my words there? And then I'm going to do a little bit of this just to clean it up with my smaller Sharpie. Now that I have all this defined. All right. So let's do one here just to kind of give it the edge. There we go. But see how thick that is versus that? That's why I was trying to match it a little bit to be prepared about how it was going to look. So I've got her arms raised, which means her shoulders, the little shoulder pads she has, are going to be raised up too. So we're just going to do a little bit of work like this. And that's basically going to give us the edges of the collar. Not collar. Why do I keep saying collar? I'm obsessed with that word today. The edge of her shoulder pads, something like that, and they are like squared off with like this mech look. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of something like that, just to give it a style. Okay, so her arms are raised. She's in a pouncing wolf mode. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the arms. Let me draw her chest to give us edges of the arms so we know where we are. So because they're raised, I'm going to have the material kind of stretched out like this. Okay, so that means her chest is going to come down here, bend like this, and then it's got a little not collar, raised indentation style thing, but that'll give us a start-stop point. That's why I wanted to do that first. So now we've got the arms that we can do because we know where they're going to be. So I'm going to come in here, draw the elbows like that, and then I can draw the wrists like this. And I've got her in kind of, her hands are doing pretty much like this. She's in a, like I said, a jumping wolf pose, like pouncing. So I'm just going to have the hands up, and I've already sketched them out, so that's why I'm just going to pretty much just draw around what I did, and then I'm going to come back and add some detail in a second. So I know it's going to look a little strange for now. It looks kind of like nubs, and they should be longer, but I do have them kind of curved in a little bit, so I'm doing something a little bit different. They're not extended out as much because of the way I have the fingers pointed out. Extend that one out a little bit. So something like that. So they're kind of like doing like this. So see how it looks like this finger is taller than the rest? So we're kind of doing something like that, just kind of extending that they're in this weird, not really weird, but an extended position, a little different than what we normally do. again, just trying to give you something different to do, something fun. There, if this helps, there's gloves like that. Okay? Alright. Let's see, she does have some armor here. Let's go ahead and draw just a little bit of that. I'm just going to creases and folds for the armor there. We'll get more into this detail in a second. We're just going to finish up these arms. So we're going to do the same thing over here. See a lot of stuff I didn't connect. But just on this side. So same thing, we're going to draw the arm up like this to the crook of the elbow, or the opposite of the elbow, the crook of the arm right there. The back end like this. There's the elbow. Woo! I lost my words. I don't know what's going on today. Okay, I'm going to draw her wrist up here. And so same thing, this hand's just, doing one of those. So we're going to draw the thumb out like this. I know it's a little harder with these Sharpies because they're so fat. But that's what we're choosing. We're trying to use tools that you have just lying around the house. That you don't have to go out and buy expensive art supplies. We just use what we got. So that's why I'm kind of using stuff like this, the extra fine Sharpie, just to help us define, or to help us to work on anything that got a little out of hand, but we can clean it up. And make it work still. Okay, so, oh yeah, you know what? She's got this really cool, extra flared out handpiece like that. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna do some of that armor. Okay, oh, you know what, here, let's do this. So, yeah, so I had to do a little bit of a collar there. So let me show you what I did. All right. There we go. Okay, because this side is over here, we'll just say that's like that, and there's there. All right, so she does have a little bit of design here. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to come in here, do a little bit of this, a little housekeeping. And then there's a centerpiece that goes like this. And I'll let color define a lot more of it, but I just wanted to give you something for the center there. Okay, yeah. Color should define more of that, so. Okay, so now we're just going to draw her skirt. Just kind of flying up a little bit because I do have her in kind of a jumping pose, so that means I'm going to have the skirt doing something like this. Same thing over here, a little up like that. Let's draw that little, there's a little split in it, so it's going to be, that. And remember, it's flying up, so that's why it's a little higher. So that means her legs are going to be coming down here. This one's more kicking at you. This one's off to the side. Her legs are going to be coming down. There's going to be the edge of the boot, like this. We'll go ahead and do this one too. Down to where the edge of the boot is. And it's got some buckles and stuff like that, so I'm going to have to remember that when I'm drawing these edges. I'm going to come up here like this, flare it out a little bit. There's the side buckle, and you can only see it from a straight on point of view on this one. This one will see more of the side, so we're going to do that. But that guides me as to where I'm going to go with this. Now watch this. So because that's there, I'm going to do something like that over here, kind of. I'm going to go bump, 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 bump. And the reason I did that is because we're going to give it a nice, let's draw the boot, then I'll show you the detail in a second. This one's pointed up. Okay, so there's going to be the heel down here. bear with me. Here's the inside. There's the front like that. I know it looks a little strange, but it's the foot like this, basically, is what we're doing. I know that looks like a sideways view, but let me show you what we did. So basically there's the toe, and it's coming down like that. So this is like the underside of the foot is basically what I'm trying to show you. Clean it up a little bit. So you're looking at the different angle. Okay? And so you'll see when I color it in, that'll make more sense. But what I was doing here was I was drawing like the buckle going across, and that just kind of accents what we're doing there. Draw the buckle out like that. And kind of connect it there where I didn't connect. And draw that little edge there. Like that. Okay. Now, didn't connect there, so I'm going to reconnect that. I'm going to, you know what, let's do it now. There's some cool design patterns in her leg here. I'm just going to kind of do like this to define where that's going to be, and then color will take care of the rest. Okay. So this one's pointed at you and up. This one's off to the side. So because it's to the side, we can kind of do this with the boot. And we're going to do the same thing I did over there. So I'm going to do like this for the buckle. You can see more of the side preview for it, profile I guess. And I'm going to do the same thing. I add some tiny subtle little bumps when I'm going down. So I'm going to go bump, bump, bump. And I'm kind of doing it like where that is. Bump. So same thing over here. We're going to add some bumps. Bump. Bump, bump, bump. Then I'll add some detail in a second. So, draw the front of the toe like this. This one's down, this one's up, this one's down. We're just doing something different, you know? Just mixing it up a little bit. There's a heel. I don't know why she's wearing heels, but hey, they're the designers. They did this. They're the creators. I'm going to go by what they did. So now, let's add some detail. So, for the buckle, let's go ahead and go across like that. Okay, for the buckle, we're just going to draw little lines like that. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. I'm going to come back and connect it like that. And it may not be like a hollow line all the way through, and that's okay. Something like that. Let's see, there's the edge. Like this. So I'm going to do like that. There you go. Let's see, on this side it's going to be like this. And color will take care of all that. So last thing I'm going to do is what I always forget, the back of the skirt. So it's coming through there and hitting like that. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Grim Fable Fortnite. So here's my colored version. You can color it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.